Alright guys, it has been a while, but this is another FSD 13.2.8 video. My god, we will never get off this version. I'm starting the video right now because we're coming up to a flagger that people are kind of just like going around very naturally. See what the car does here. Okay, nice job. So it has been a while since I've made a video. To be honest, I think I've kind of said in the last few videos, but this version's kind of boring. Like, it's really good. It has its faults. I made a whole video on the actual issues that there are with FSD today. Check it out. I'll put the link in the description. I think it's useful for anybody that is getting into FSD and doesn't really understand what problems there are. But for most people that use it regularly, it's obvious what the issues are. The first one being stop signs are very slow, things like that. So yeah, I made a video that talks about it, but yeah, so I'm less inspired to make these videos because it, as impressive as this is, just feels very boring to talk about, and I don't want to like waste your time. But I will make this video because something that I can talk about while we're doing the drive is the spring update that just came out. I got it yesterday, and I was actually going to start the video. I'm realizing I didn't. So the video was supposed to start, and will have started with me probably showing the before camera angle, because one of the big things I thought was going to change, that was marked in the like notes as being changed, is this reverse camera was going to be wider, because currently it gets cropped. Like, there is this much more image on both sides that just Tesla cuts in so that the image looks cleaner. And for whatever reason, it didn't really specify it. Like, this spring update is honestly a bit confusing because it all of a sudden is fragmenting so many cars. Like, I think my car and the new Model Y and like maybe the S and the X, I don't even know. Certain cars now have in Sentry mode, the pillar camera, which was never a part of the dash cam footage, is now included, which is great. But like the Cybertruck, for example, doesn't get it. Hardware 3 vehicles don't get it. And it is just, I mean, I get it in some respects why there's going to be, I understand the hardware 3, hardware 4 fragmentation, because hardware 4 is newer, better. So as features get added, there are just going to be things that the older computer cannot do. You can't really fight that. What's confusing to me is seeing the Cybertruck, for example, not have the same features that my car has when both cars are hardware 4. And the Cybertruck is actually like a better vehicle on paper. So yeah, it's weird to see this like fragmentation start to happen, and especially with vehicles that are so new. Like the Cybertruck only came out how long ago? This is this vehicle is exactly basically a year old, and both of them are already like lagging behind in features that the new Model Y has, despite all of us being on what Tesla would call hardware 4. This is where I talked about it in a previous video, but this is where I feel like hardware 4.5 and 4.1 almost feels like a reality. Yeah, I'm not trying to be too much of a pessimist. It just does feel strange to already be missing features. And in some ways that's fine. I'm all for pushing the boundary. So like, if something needed to happen that included only the front bumper camera, and that meant that my car without the front bumper camera wouldn't get that feature, fine. Drop support for my car, do that thing to like push progress ahead. But when things like the not wider, like the backup camera not being wider, and the B pillar support for Cybertruck happening that don't really feel necessary, that divide seems more confusing. And it's not clearly stated by Tesla. Like, Tesla just says, here's the spring update, here are the things you can expect, and didn't really get into the nitty-gritty of which cars got what and why certain cars didn't get other things. But I don't know. I'm not trying to be too much of a complainer. That is just something that makes it hard for me to understand. Like, I spend so much time reading about Tesla, and it is in a lot of ways like my obsession. Like, I think these cars are so cool. I think the technology is really cool. I just have no idea how the average person could possibly keep up with all this. Because if you're just an average Joe and you sit down and your car gets an update and you are like, oh, I heard they're gonna add B-pillar cameras, and you hop in your Cybertruck, you're like, oh, I don't have B-pillar cameras. I wonder why. It's just, I don't know. It's just confusing. But with that said, FSD, incredible. I mean, it's doing all this driving as I'm talking, going around that biker fine. It's great. I'm really looking forward to, in less than 30 days, whatever happens in Austin, Texas. And hopefully before then, maybe just after then, an FSD release that we get that will match the software that they're running in Austin. So while we're kind of in traffic here, I'll go over the release notes. I'll put them high quality up on the screen as well. So the spring update, there's kind of 2 updates every year that are big Tesla updates. Like there are just updates throughout the year that the car gets, but kind of famously the spring update and the Christmas update, I guess the holiday update, are 2 that pack the most features in to the car, the most like new notable features. So I talked about what they were in a previous video, kind of going through like all the different additions, but I guess just now that it's here, I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So I don't want to go too granular because like I said, I spent like half an hour in my last video talking about it all, but here very quickly are all the new things. So alternative trip plans, this is something you can do for if you're planning longer trips, if you want to do more scenic, more this, more that. Avoid highways. That was something I didn't understand that people wanted. A bunch of you in the comments explained why avoid highways is a good thing. And reading those helped me understand that, yeah, avoiding highways sometimes would be really handy. So it's great that they added this. This is what I was talking about, the dash cam and side camera recording. So there are now 2 more camera angles when you're looking at your Sentry footage or dash cam footage. That's great. It's really cool that they're able to add that. Save trunk height. Again, I talked about all this, but you're now able to set how high your trunk opens in certain areas. So if at home you want it to not open as high because you have a low garage, you can do that. Adaptive headlights. I'm hoping maybe right now I'm overlaying or showing you what it looks like, but I tried to go out last night and film it. I literally pulled Jay off the couch at like 11 p.m. and we drove like circles in the dark, and apparently there was no other cars that wanted to be driving because there was just 0 other human beings on the road, and so the headlights, I didn't get to see them in action really, but I'm hoping that tonight I'll go, which means I'll be able to overlay footage. But the idea being that like you have full high beams on, and then this car in front of me, if it was in front of me, if only this car was here and we're driving at night, my high beams would not be on everywhere except for right in front of them. And it's just really cool technology that they added to the car. It's neat. Keyboard languages, I didn't understand that wasn't a thing, and it's good that they added it. Keep power on. I should actually read this because I'm curious what this means. I guess that's for me too. Like my USBs, I could leave them powered on if I wanted to. I don't really have any need for that. This is more for people with like the Model Y and stuff that had fridges that they left plugged in their car that now they're able to use. So that's really cool. And then minor updates. I'll show you the UI in a second, but like this for superchargers, when you, actually I'll just show you right now. So when you're looking at a supercharger, so let's say this one, if I click it, I now see these nearby amenities, and this is a much, coincidentally, like the day before I got the spring update, Jay and I were talking about doing a road trip, and I was like, oh, we'll stop at this charger, and her and I both were like, oh, what's nearby? Like what restaurants and stuff are there? And you could click it and sort of see, but this is much, much, much better. So this is really cool that they're adding this, and it makes navigating to a supercharger and choosing which one you want based on the amenities a lot easier. So that was a really cool upgrade. Okay, and then what else here? By the way, do you see how much I'm touching the screen and that the nag isn't going off on me? This again is just another point in the favor of the nag system, although not perfect, is pretty forgiving. People that are getting strikes, you're wild. I don't know how you say you can't use the nav and can't change songs without getting a nag. It's very easy. I'm literally reading and going through release notes, scrolling through them, and not getting a single warning. So It's just a matter of using it responsibly. Touch here, look here. It's very simple. Nice job through here, by the way. The car's going at really good speed. We went around the construction. Well done. Media search being filtered is really a much cleaner look. So that's the other thing here. So if I typed in, let's say, Odessa. Odessa. So if I type in Odessa, all the music for Spotify is right here, and I can go through playlists, podcasts, whatever. And then if I click here, I can see all those results, but for YouTube Music. Previously, it was all just like in one search result screen, and you had to kind of scroll through to find which platform you're playing out of. This is much, 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 much better. Really good update from Tesla there. Easily scroll through your SiriusXM favorites. I don't use SiriusXM anymore, but cool. Amazon free account, sure. I don't use Apple Music. For a lot of you that do, having the 100-song shuffle is a big deal, so that's cool for you guys. What song will play next on YouTube Music is in the up next view on the media player. I didn't realize that wouldn't be the case, so let's see that. So let's go to Odessa again, Mewtwo songs. So how do you see that? Oh, just shows you up next right here. Okay, apparently this wasn't here before, so it's here now. Nice. In your navigation settings, you can choose to show or hide chargers on the map that are not owned by Tesla. That's actually really nice, and I noticed the other day when we were downtown that it was showing me non-Tesla chargers, and it's just so much easier to use superchargers, so I was like kind of annoyed by that, and I was trying to turn it off. It's great that they added that. For those of you who don't pay for premium connectivity and you use hotspot on your car, it looks like they've actually, this is kind of the opposite of what a lot of other people would do. They've made it easier to use your phone as the hotspot in favor of paying for premium connectivity, which is kind of cool. Like, that's a win for customer. They're making it easier to not pay for premium, whereas they could have done the complete opposite, and I just appreciate that. That's a little touch that they didn't have to do. It's really cool of Tesla, for sure. Contact photos are now displayed for people. This is the first time I'm getting a nag. So this is a really cool one. I'm gonna try and show it to you, but it's perhaps gonna be tough. Let's see here. So I'm gonna have to do a lot of blurring here so you don't see the photo or the phone numbers, but these are my contacts, my favorites, for example, and I see before it was just names, and now it's just slightly cleaner. Nothing groundbreaking, but I see the photos of the people, which is a really cool thing for them to add. Yeah, and that's kind of it for the spring update, for me at least. Like I said, the other thing that was added, that was the big one, that was the backup camera. For me, it's not changed. And it even seems like a regional thing in some ways too, because when I was looking at some of the other people's photos of how this looks, these, oh God, it's a big pothole. These are up top, and they're also labeled, like it says left, right, and rear. Maybe that's just in the Sentry mode, but regardless, this is flipped. Like this backup goes down here, and these go up here. So I don't know why. I don't know why it's not like that for me. Not a huge deal, but just like some clarification. Cool. And then, yeah, besides that, an update on the HDMI output. There isn't one. I've been busy. There's a couple things that I have to reply to Tom about, so it's definitely on me, but we are working on it. I tried with like 8 different capture cards to try and make the video output work. Still struggling with it, but hoping that in time for version 13.3 or version 14, whatever the next FSD version is that comes out, that we have it all fixed, because it would be so nice to have this screen for you guys to see. And other than that, not much. Since I've made one of these videos, FSD has been really good for me. I mean, the issues that exist still exist, of course, because nothing changes, but the reality is, and you're seeing it right now, 99% of my driving is done by full self-driving, and it does it flawlessly. And that's even in situations like this where we're in a construction zone, there's people, there's things going on, there's cones. I don't even really worry about it because the car does just do such a good job all the time that, yeah, it's remarkable how good it is right now. Okay, so a small thing, but I would tuck over and take this spot. This is one of those situations where I'm certain the car could do it. I feel like if I press the accelerator, the car could do it. It's just funny because it's the car's like own it's intimidated to make this decision. You can tell it wants to, but like I'll just show you. Like I don't really count this an intervention, but I'm gonna press the accelerator. So it can do it. It just kind of chooses not to do it for whatever reason, which I don't know why in those scenarios. And so then this is another one. We have 2 lanes, but yeah. So technically we have our own lane to go into because there's 2 lanes. They're turning. They should be staying into that lane. We should have this lane. But that car in front of us, as it turned, came into this second lane straight away. So although some people might just go there, it'd be very easy to end up in a situation where you're getting sideswiped because they are turning into this lane as we're coming into this lane. So I kind of don't blame the car for waiting. Okay, so we have traffic coming in a bit, but if we just go, it's perfect. And I think that's what the car's gonna do. Really nice job, super smooth. Well done. Somebody backing on the road here. Good job there too. We slowed down as they came into our lane and then kind of very naturally went around them. That was well done. Roads like this, perhaps not that bad. There's definitely some roads. So right now I'm happy to go 70 because it's a straight road. The speed limit's 60. We're going a little fast. But let's say this road was super bumpy. Currently, I don't think the car would deal with that, and it would feel uncomfortable. Like let's say it was uneven and you're bumping around, and a human would probably slow down. I wonder if there is a world where, I don't know what sensors there are in the car, but like, what's the word? The telemetry? Like the gyroscopic, the like, if we're bumping around and moving around a bunch, those sensors, could the car almost, instead of the visual cues, because maybe it's not visual how bumpy the road is, but as a human you would feel it and you'd slow down, could the car take those same like sensor readings and be like, oh, driving this fast, we're bumping around a whole bunch, let's slow down a little bit so it's a more comfortable ride. Yeah, I'm almost certain that FSD doesn't take that into account currently, and I wonder if there's a world where it ever would. Okay, so we would wait for this guy, and then we should go right after. So we should go right now. Perfect. Cool. So we are basically here, 1 minute away. FSD has done absolutely everything. As I got to just talk to you guys all about updates and what's going on, the car has driven us A to B with the push of a button. There's been construction, flaggers, highway traffic, people backing out into our lane. I mean, as simple as this drive was, it was also, there's complex situations that came up, and it's cool to see the car just like without a pause handling all of that, except for the one little situation where I thought it could have gone around the trailer. But again, you're sitting in the back of a robotaxi, you're not like hyper analyzing like, oh, the car should go. Like you're just chilling in the back. So this was, if I was to rate it, like a flawless robotaxi experience. I'm chilling in the back, I'm on X, I'm watching YouTube. I wouldn't have thought anything of this drive other than that it was comfortable and it was perfect. And for that reason, I think it's pretty friggin' cool that it's so good. Okay, so with that said, destination parking still not a thing. Perhaps it'll pull into the driveway. See what it does here. It should go around this roundabout. Nice job. Really well done. Okay, that's cool. We're we're dropped off. Our robo-taxi dropped us off. That's good enough for me. So I will see you guys in 2 seconds for the next part of the drive. Okay, all done there. Heading to my next job. Another thing too that's interesting that I was just going to bring up. So my charge port just randomly opens when I'm sitting in the car sometimes. I was actually hoping it was going to happen while I was sitting here, and I was going to have it on video. But I booked a service, and I have no idea how it got chosen, but this is the first time. I've only had service done probably like 3 times on the car, but this time it got booked as being a mobile service, so it's kind of cool. Like tomorrow, I happen to be home all day, and at some point in the afternoon, a technician's going to come to the house and work on my car at my house rather than me having to go to a dealership. I remember hearing about that like early on before I bought a Tesla, that they come to your house and do the work. I think that's a really like neat thing. Maybe other companies do it. I think Rivian does it. But besides that, I don't think Ford or anybody's coming to your house to do work for you. So very, very cool thing. I'll let you guys know how it goes, because like I said, it's tomorrow. By the time I edit the video, I probably will have had the service done, but kind of neat, like just to have that level of service scheduled through the app. It's cool. It's neat. We're not slowing down for the speed bump. Okay. Sorry, I just had to call Jay there for a second, but I'll have slowed it down probably to show you. But leaving there was, let's say, 4 speed bumps, and I think the car missed 3 of them. They're very well marked. I don't know why. Like, I snapshotted each time it missed it to know, but it's just annoying. Like, that to me seems so simple because, like, I don't know. Like, it's painted. It's not just like a random raised part of the thing. Like, there was like the well-painted arrows to discern that that was a speed bump. So it seems interesting to me that the cameras can't like pick up that sort of object. Who knows though? Version 14 or 13 dot whatever, hopefully we'll fix that. Because that's something where I could have hopped in the back of the car, driven here flawlessly, and I hop in the back of the car for it to take me to my next job, or I'm whatever, just not paying attention because it's unsupervised, and then I go flying over a speed bump at 50 kilometers an hour. I'm not gonna die, but it's just not ideal sitting. If I was sitting in an Uber and it hit a speed bump, like the Uber driver hit a speed bump at full speed, I would definitely take pause and wonder what's going on. So that same thought process would be if this car was driving me and we hit 3 speed bumps in a row at full speed, and then again, it's my car. So the car is driving itself and hurting itself on speed bumps. So not only is it uncomfortable, it also just sucks because then I'm gonna have to get service done to the car even sooner because of the struts, the shocks, whatever the hell they're called. But yeah. I'm disengaging here because we should turn right there. Not disengaging, sorry, intervening. I just hit the pedal to go. The car was hesitating too much. There was an advanced screen in front of us. Cars behind us wanted to turn, so minor, but a pedal intervention for sure. Okay, here's a speed bump. We're gonna be going quite slow. But see, it sees this one. It's in the shade. Like, this speed bump was 100% harder to see than the other ones that I was missing. So, I don't know. I don't know why it's like inconsistent on what it does and doesn't pick up. So here's another speed bump in the sun. We are not slowing down for it. So, right before we hit it, there was like a tiny like pause on the, but like I wouldn't go this speed over this. Kind of slowed there. A couple things that I would like to see is I would love for them, back in the day, speed bumps were visualized, and now you can see we're coming up to one and nothing gets visualized. It just lets you know, because right now, as we're coming up to a speed bump, I'm like, is the car going to slow down? Is the car going to slow down? Whereas like if I saw that it saw this speed bump, I would know that it's going to slow down versus no, it's not going to. And then also with that said, as I'm talking about this, these speed bumps aren't that big. Like going over them at the speed we are is kind of okay. Yeah, like that was perfect. That slowed down enough that was ideal. 38, whatever. It sees this one, it's slowing down for it. Yeah, I don't know. Speed bumps are definitely inconsistent at the moment. The other thing that's inconsistent is it thinks we're in a 30 zone. I'm nearly certain this isn't 30, but not a big deal, I suppose. Okay, really good job here. There's, oh, see, it's confusing. What's gonna happen here? Okay, that's good. Interesting. So traffic was going around this person because that they're four ways on, and then everybody was doing that. The car like followed suit, but then this guy started actually going, and the car was for a second like pacing it and then being like, no, okay, this is actually a moving vehicle, put its signal back on, and then tucked behind it. So I would say great job for every decision it made there. Like I would have done the exact same thing. I would have moved into the other lane to pass it, and then kind of same deal. I would have been like, okay, we'll come back behind it. So well done there. Cool. All right, well done by the car. Just turning left up here. Besides the speed bumps, everything was really, really, really well done. So, and I don't know where to park, so I will see what the car does. But all right. Okay, what's it doing? Surprised by this. Ooh. Interesting. I wonder why it's turning around. I mean, that's the address, like right in the corner here. So I think it's just dropping us off right in front, which is actually really good. If it parked here, that'd be insane. So close. Do it. Do it. Do it. Honestly, still really good. This is what I was going to do. I was going to take over, spin around, and then park right here. So I've never had it do what it just did there, where it like turned around on the street to get across the street to where it wanted to be. Well done. Okay, I'll see you guys in 2 seconds. All right, all finished here. Heading to pick up something on my way home. See how the car does to get out of here. We're on gravel and parallel parked. Oh my God, if it goes, no, there's no way. It's strange that there was like zero object in path hesitation there. Like we were on gravel, and I feel like the car's always famously like struggled in those situations. And it's hard, like people talk about FSD, we should go. Like we're in FSD version 13.2.8, but there have definitely been like software updates, like there was the spring update and things like that, and then people talk about FSD like changing between software versions that aren't necessarily FSD updates, and I've always said there's no way, but to me that almost felt like different behavior. But again, it's hard. It's like almost placebo effect. I'm going to assume everything that feels slightly different is because we're on a new version of the software, but as far as I know, FSD only changes when there's FSD versions. And then the only other thing that could change is nav updates would definitely affect the way the car drives as far as like its knowledge of where to drive. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do you think FSD ever changes throughout its version, or like is it a static thing? We should go after this car, and it's a pretty blind corner, so I would go quick. Nice job. You may notice the car's at 15%. I am definitely trying to, like, I already tried once to do the battery degradation, battery health test, but I didn't have enough time for it to charge in the morning, so I didn't end up, I have not completed a battery health test. So I'm hoping to do one tonight because I don't have to go anywhere tomorrow until I have the service, which is later in the afternoon. So as low of a percent as possible is better for starting the test. So we'll see if I can do it. I will definitely include me doing the test and the results and kind of talk about it as much as I can. And basically, for those of you that don't know, the battery health test, it's a new thing that got added a couple updates ago. But, oh, whoa, okay, we didn't signal. That wasn't great. So we should have signaled right out of the roundabout there. Anyways, the battery health test, what it does is plug in the car. You can do it through the app, or I think through the menus here. You enable it and the car drains itself down. So like, let's say you plug in at 10%, you say you want to run the battery test, it'll like burn off that last 10% of energy, which is why it's better to start it with a lower percent, and then gets down to 0, and then turns around and charges the battery up to 100%. And as it's doing that, it's doing the calibration, blah, 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 and gets like an exact health metric for your battery and what it's at today. And I think what that also does is then gives you a much more accurate representation of your distance that you can drive, because the car has now like calibrated, understands you and your battery better. So when you're doing longer road trips, the stops that it's suggesting are going to be a lot, there'll be a lot more like information for the car to glean off of as far as that's concerned. Because right now the car probably thinks I still get my original range, but I don't have my original range, I don't think, since I bought the car. Who knows? We'll see. But I will hopefully include all that at the end of this video. Okay, turning left here on a sometimes busy road. We'll see. Whoa, I'm surprised he pulled out in front of that person. See, I wouldn't have done that. I would pull up a little bit more just so we could see, but okay, I would probably go after this vehicle. Yeah, perfect. Nice. All right, really good job. The only like critique I would give, it was fine. I would have just nosed up a tiny bit more to give us slightly more of a view down that way. But it worked out. Good. All right, sorry about that. I was on the, ooh, don't pull out, buddy. My mom called me, but car's done a good job. We're just pulling in here. I honestly have not been here before, so, oh, it's right here. Nice job. So many opportunities for it to park. Let's see what it does. Nothing but parking spots. Come on, car. Any of these. Oh. Oh. Okay, nice job. Is it going to pull through? There's a car behind us. Oh, no, there he goes. He's probably wondering what we're doing, and that's fair. I'm also wondering what we're doing. Have we changed our mind on that spot? She's getting a little closer to the door. I appreciate it. Okay. Is this it for us? Well, we can't win them all. Almost parked for us. Okay, cool. I will see you guys in 1 second here. Okay, heading home now. Let's see how the car does getting out of here. Kind of in a rush because I have to give the car to Jay so she can go to the gym. So I may take over and get us out of here if it's being slow, but should just be a straight shot. I will say it's like overly hesitant. We have someone right behind us is the only reason I might. No, it's okay. It's very hesitant of these like yellow speed bumps, which is good because they are very like harsh speed bumps. Okay, it is very busy. Wow, really good job. This guy kind of gave us a break. We took it. That was flawless, the way that it's recording. Wow, that was really good. There's been 100% times where I've had to take over where the car hasn't taken the initiative in situations like that. So it's cool, really well done. Something just to mention, if you're watching the video and you're enjoying it, if you could leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, helps me out immensely. I really enjoy doing this, and yeah, it's cool. I actually just cashed out my first YouTube analytics paycheck. So that's from the last, I'll put it on the screen because I'll be transparent. I'm not going to pretend like I'm making millions of dollars. You guys can see how much I make. But since I've had this channel to now, I think I got a $507 paid day, which was really cool. I was never expecting to make any money off this. And I literally just put all that money into paying for FSD because it's $100 a month, right? So that pays for like 5 months of my FSD. But it's cool. It's neat that these videos are paying for themselves in a sense, right? And that's thanks to you guys watching this and the donations that you've given as well. So thank you very much, everybody that's done so. And anybody that watches, you're helping as well. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, I hung up the phone on Jay because we were just chatting and I figured I'd be able to fast forward the rest of my drive. I can see from here that there is something in the middle of the road up there. I'm betting I'm going to have to take over, but maybe the car's going to avoid it. Let's see. No. So that's, see, that's where it becomes a problem to like do anything close to unsupervised. I would have just ran into that. I think there's a piece of metal, so that would have been a significant damage to the car had I hit that or ran over it. And it's just too bad. Like, that was a pretty big object, and I'm kind of surprised that the car didn't do anything to avoid it. Maybe the path we were on, it would have missed it by like this much, but it didn't look like it. Like, it looked like we were kind of driving straight for it. Not like a critical safety thing, because it's not like we would have hit it and the car would have exploded, but that could be safety if it was a bigger object and you were driving faster. But it's more lumped into like car safety. I don't know what you call it. I don't want to run things over on my car. I don't want to hurt my car. Taking my eyes off the road with the FSD would mean I'm trusting the car to not like hurt itself, and it would not have done so there. But oh well. Cool. So we are 2 minutes from home. the car, I'm sure, will be able to handle the rest. So I will kind of end things here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care, and I will see you guys on the next one. Ciao.